Good morning. Retirement Income and the Secure Act of 2020. Hi, I'm Brian at Brian Lowe Financial. Some of you hear us on the radio in New Orleans at 99.5, locally here in Baton Rouge on WJBO every Saturday at 1. We have classes coming up in your area we'd like you to attend, but today's webinar is specifically about the Secure Act. So what we'd like to do is jump right in. And this is just a disclosure. We're not here to offer you a product of any kind or service. We're a registered investment advisory firm, and we're here to give you advice. We may end up giving you some ideas, and you're welcome to visit with us one-on-one, and we'll get through that. The Secure Act for 2019, securing every community for retirement, was started in 2019, and there's a lot of major changes that will affect you and your taxes. Your Secure Act 29 provisions were aimed at increasing an access to tax advantage accounts, preventing older Americans from outliving their assets. Other motives were to generate $15.7 billion in taxes over the next 10 years. The question is, how will this affect you and your family? Roth IRAs, traditional IRAs, 401ks all had age restrictions eliminated for IRA contributions. The previous age was 70.5. So ultimately, when you used to be able to make a contribution to an IRA, the question is, could you do a Roth IRA? What are your options? We'll help you determine what you're eligible for. Required minimum distributions is the biggest step. We used to make you take out our required distribution at 70.5 or 70.5. Now that's been lifted, and now it's to 72. What does that mean? It means if you were having to take out the money, you didn't need the money, you were being forced to pay taxes on money you didn't need. So silly question, why pay taxes on money you didn't need? Now we can defer that money a little bit longer and let it grow, which ultimately can make the money last longer. Married jointly brackets for 2020. So a lot of you that are going to call in or visit with us are going to be somewhere in the range of 12% bracket. Some of you may be in the 22% bracket, so 80,000 to 170. The question is the tax planning strategy to keep you into the same bracket. What amount of money can we convert to a Roth IRA now, pay little taxes on the money, keep in the same bracket, but create 20 to 30% more tax-free income? When you call in, that's what you're going to get, is you're going to get a printout, a way to generate another 20 to 30% more tax-free income by using the tax code that's available to today. My question to you is, do you believe taxes will go up, or do you believe taxes will stay the same, or they will go down? The average person, when it comes to tax planning, believes taxes will go up. So this is a great opportunity now in the next 2 to 5 years to do major tax planning to increase your tax-free income. Ultimately, typically in class, I use the 4-bucket method. Tax now, that's CDs, mutual funds, and stocks. Tax later, that would be things like a tax-deferred IRA, 401k, or even a Roth where it's tax-deferred. But ultimately, the tax-free bucket would be the Roth IRA, municipal bonds, and the IUL. Now, the question is, how about one more bucket, the 4th bucket? That would be what we call the income and estate tax-free and a legacy tax-free for your family. So that bucket's typically not been done by your broker or your banker. So the question is why? Let's create another bucket of money, and it could be as much as $200,000, extra $400,000 of spendable money in your lifetime. How about this? The joint brackets can be anywhere for the 24% bracket, 170 to 320. The question is, where's the tax planning opportunities? When we visit with you and you bring in your tax return, it'll be very clear based on what you're doing, what your future tax liabilities will be. The question is, if you believe taxes will go up, what's the tax planning strategy for you today? There's many. Many of your trusts need to be revised. Your planning that you did 2-3 years ago has changed because of this new Secure Act. So we'll help uncover the 3 or 4 ideas to help implement today. Now, how do RMDs work? If you notice at 70, it says distribution period is 27.4 years. At 75, it's 22.9. and at 80 is 18.7. What does that tell you? At 70, for every 100,000, that's about 3.6% that you got to take out for every 100,000. At 75, 22.9, that's going to be more like a little over 4, 4.3 or so. And by the time you're 80, it's going to be like 5, 5.3. So as you get older, they're making you take out more money. Again, required minimum distributions is a tax time bomb. If you notice at the top at 70, it says 3.6. So now we're talking about the IRA balance of 875,000. That would be the December 31st value. With a 5% growth is 918,000, and the RMD would be 33,530. By the time you turn 75, now it's a 4.375% distribution rate, and with a balance of 914,000 and a 5% growth rate, you're still looking at 41,933 as an RMD. Again, where is the tax planning here? You're either using this money and spending the money, or you're going to reinvest this money. The question is, if you weren't going to reinvest the money, where would you put the money? Tax now, tax later, or tax free. We'll walk you through 3 buckets. We'll create an illustration to show you how to create another 20 to 30% more tax-free income just by utilizing this strategy just right here. There's nothing wrong with spending the money today. Again, the question is, if you are spending the money, let's do it in a more tax efficient way and create another 200,000 or 300,000 of tax-free income. Now, the 529 accounts, qualified student loan repayments up to 100,000 one time. Another option here is the Secure Act change IRAs and 401k plans. So now, caveat, this year with the coronavirus, your children may need to pull money out of their 401ks. When it used to be $50,000 withdrawal or $50,000 loan, that has been bumped up to $100,000. So you can help your children to tell them they can now take out more. They can do a $100,000 loan against their 401k. However, it wouldn't be most advisable. I certainly wouldn't want them to pull the money out of the 401k as well. But these are new laws that are available to them today. Make it easier for small business plans to accommodate and create retirement plans. Multi-employer 401ks is another availability for business owners, and other small business owners tax incentives. So if you're a business owner, the question is, how can we put away $10,000 to $15,000 without creating additional tax, which ultimately can help you save more money, which ultimately can help create an exit strategy and to build more net worth outside of your business. It's just complicated enough that we have tax attorneys, financial advisors, insurance agents, and actuaries to help figure out the math. So if you are an engineer or a tax attorney yourself and retired, you know it. As soon as you get out of the business, things change fast. What you did in the last 30 years is completely different today, and all the rules are changing in front of you. So part-time employees will have access to 401k plans. That's exciting. Graduate students, care providers can now make IRA contributions. That's a big change. Annuities are now offered into your 401k plans. Look, good, bad, or ugly, we're not saying that's an option for you, but a fixed account with a guaranteed fixed rate of somewhere in the range of 4%. Another option is the word hybrid. Upside potential of the market could make as much as 70% of what the market makes. You can lock in that gain. If the market were to go down, you wouldn't lose any principal. Now, in that one category, there's as much as 200 different companies. The question is, what's your age and what's the time frame of when you might need the money? When I worked at the bank over 20 years ago, I worked at Chase Bank, and there were a few products that they had at the bank that, quite frankly, we would never even consider today. And that was what they called the variable annuity. And so today, if you brought me a variable annuity, I'd say, what are the fees, what are the expenses? So if you either have one or considering one, that is definitely something you definitely need to put away and not consider, because there's too many fees and expenses in there. So again, the question is, what are you paying in fees? When you come in for the visit or do a Zoom meeting, we'll uncover what your fees are. Stretch IRA. This is one of the biggest changes in the Secure Act. And when it comes to planning, this is where we need to consider looking at your trust. Things you wrote in your trust are going to change based on this new law. So we may have to re-advise your trust, get with your attorney. And the stretch IRA, see, in the past, if someone passed away, your spouse receives the IRA. But if you both pass away, there would be what we call the stretch IRA. So we could take out a small RMD payment as an inherited IRA for the rest of our life, which will allow the money to grow tax deferred and just withdraw that small amount over time. Now, with the stretch IRA eliminated, this has caused a major change in what your planning decisions are. Your current advisor either has done illustrations to show you and confirm how this has affected you and your estate planning decisions, or they're just not considering how the changes are affecting you. We want to challenge you to come in and dust it off, take a look at it, and consider how to fix the problem. By the way, sometimes the problem has to get so bad, what does that mean? If taxes continue to rise, the problem's going to get worse. So you have the next 2 to 5 years to make this decision to fix the tax time bomb. Now, do you wait? You don't know what the taxes are going to be in the next 2 to 5 years. So the answer is now. So with the stretch IRA eliminated, we're going to show you how to create again 20 to 30% more tax-free income with an extra pool of money that will help supplement your retirement in your lifetime and leave a legacy tax-free to your family. It's just a matter of knowing what your required distribution is. We also are going to look at your Social Security, how much of your Social Security benefits being taxed, and again, how to increase your spendable income as much as 20 to 30%. Now, retirement plans. Most heirs of an IRA will not have the tenure to deplete the IRA. So what does that mean? In the past, we did the RMD payments for a lifetime. So now they have to take out this money over the 10-year period, which again could cause excruciating pain when it comes to taxes. So let's look at it. The 10-year distribution rule. The value of the IRA that's inherited, let's say it's $500,000. So before the Secure Act, in year one, on $500,000, it was $14,620 as what we call the RMD. The $528,000 account balance would grow each year. Let's look at it each year. So by the time the second year would happen, it was $15,497. Year three, $16,426. Year four, $17,412. Year five, $18,000. So as you notice, the RMD will be going up over time as you're getting older. The account balance, if you notice, 528, 528, 528, 557, 571. So the question is, what's the account growing and what's the RMD that you're taking out? The RMD amount after the Secure Act was $50,000. Before the Secure Act was $14,000. If you notice, the remaining balance is going down. So now it's going down $449. Second year, the RMD was $53,000 because they're making you take out the money over a 10-year period. So now it's $449. Next year, $56,000. So the account balance is $416. What is that doing? It's causing them to pay more taxes as well. So the RMD in the fourth year is $59,550. The balance is now $378. It's going down at a dramatic rate. Now, again, if your children are in high income brackets, they're complaining about the taxes this is causing them. And again, if we can do this in a more tax efficient way, that's going to be the solution, and that's going to be the tax planning strategies that we're going to have for you. Remaining value is $334 after the fifth year. In the sixth year, $66,911 is the RMD, and then $283,703. And by the seventh year, it's $70,925. Remaining value is $225,000. The point being is there's some major tax planning strategies. We'll run some illustrations and show you the math, how to create more income for you, and ultimately how to create more tax-free income for the family so they inherit even more tax-free. Now, let's look over here. The $500,000 taxable income before the Secure Act with someone making $100,000. So annual income $100,000, and then they're going to have to take out, or they're going to increase their income by $14,000, which was the RMD, $14,620, and then of course now their income is based on $114. After the Secure Act, look what happened. The taxable income is now $150 because now they have to take out the $50,000, which was the 10-year distribution. So now their income on $100,000 is now $150. The second year, the RMD was $15,497. If you look now, it raised their income on $100,000 to $115. After the Secure Act, it's now $153, a dramatic increase and increase in tax. Year three, the RMD was $16,426. So their $100,000 income of 116 before the Secure Act, which still would be a problem, it's now 156. So again, a dramatic increase in their tax. Year 4, the RMD was 17,412. So now their $100,000 income is now 117 before the Secure Act, and now after 159. Major, major problem. Again, a tax time bomb. How can we fix the problem? It definitely can be fixed. It's just a matter of walking you through a step-by-step process. Now, year 5, 18,457. So their now income of 100,000 is now 118. Before Secure Act, now it's 163, 123 after the Secure Act. By year 6, 19,564. The RMD, 66,000. So look at it. Before the Secure Act, 119. After the Secure Act, 166. So by the 7th year, look at the problem. 20,738 before. Their 100,000 income is now 120. The taxable income after the Secure Act is 170. Big, big, big tax planning in this one opportunity right here. The question is, how do you fix the problem? We have actuaries to do the math. We'll do the printout, and then we'll do probably a 45-minute visit with you to explain your tax brackets, to explain the tax problem itself, to uncover your children's problems and their tax issues, and then again, how to create more tax-free income for you, and then ultimately how to create more tax-free income from them. So again, it's legacy planning, it's income planning for you, it fixes the tax time. Silly question. Would you rather your money go to your family, or would you rather money go to Uncle Sam? It's a silly question. It's just a matter of solving the problem on an actuary basis. We have a free book we'll mail to you. If you just don't quite get it, you're not real sure just yet, we'll mail you the book first, read the book, and then you call back and get the actuary work done. It takes us about 15 minutes to do just that. Now, what is an eligible designated beneficiary? Follows the old rule of RMD using the life expectancy tables: the surviving spouse, a minor child of an account owner up to 18, a beneficiary who's no more than 10 years younger than the deceased account owner, or a chronically ill or disabled individual. Now, we're not even going to get into the trust and the planning that comes with it doing a trust. We have elder care attorneys. It may be possible that we'll get you involved with one of our elder care attorneys as well. So step 1, uncover the problem. Step 2, figure out what the solutions are. Now, historical highest income brackets over time. Let's look back in 1913 at a taxable marginal rate of 7%. Let's look by 1918 up to 77%. Boy, a dramatic increase in taxes. Let's look in the 30s, 1930, 25%. By 1933, after the Great Depression, 63% for over 4 years. Then it went to what, in 1936, 79%. 1948, 82%. Then 1960, 90%. So tax rates started to do what? Come down. So I was born in 1975. And so 1975, rates were still coming down. By the time you get to the 84, they're at 50% brackets. By the time we get into 2000, we're at 39% brackets, and now 35% brackets. So the question is, what's your bracket, and can taxes increase? If you notice, over time, we're actually in a historical, reasonably reasonable bracket time basis. The question is, will taxes going up? Now, with the coronavirus, businesses got the PPP program. They got payroll money. A lot of you out there are getting, your children are getting unemployment. Nothing's free. And ultimately, we're going to have to pay this in time. It's very well possible that taxes will go up. So actuary, do the numbers, do the math. We'll do that for you. You can either do it yourself and pay some actuary $2,000 or $3,000 to do the calculations by calling in and taking advantage of our webinar here. We'll do those calculations for you. Retirement income math. The differences of a Roth IRA distribution versus pulling money out of a traditional IRA is going to be much different. If you notice here, the monthly income, Roth IRA, $36,000 annual withdrawal, no federal and state taxes, net monthly income of $3,000. How exciting is that? Would you like to increase your income and do a Roth conversion? And typically, it's going to be somewhere in the range of 10%. So 10% of your net worth of an IRA, we might do a Roth conversion over the next 1 to 5 years. So $1 million, it might be $100,000, 10%, and it's $20,000 a year for the next 5 years. would create another bucket of money, a Roth IRA. Now, you don't go sell your investment, your stock at a low value today. We can do an in-kind transfer into the new Roth IRA. And when the market goes back up, you have additional income on top of that because the appreciation as well. So now is a great opportunity more than ever with the market changing to do this Roth conversion now. You don't want to wait. A joint distribution, 36,000 with a 22% bracket. You're looking at a monthly income of $27.40. An IRA, 36,000, a traditional IRA, and a 22% bracket with some federal and some state, you're looking at 2,000 monthly income. Big difference compared to the Roth IRA. So would you rather 3,000 tax-free or the tax that's close to 22% and to only net 2,000? Of course, you'd rather 3,000 tax-free. The joint ownership account could be a CD, or it could be a mutual fund, and a joint arrangement at a 27% bracket, you're looking at 2,700 monthly. Versus an IRA, 36,000 and a 27% bracket, you're looking at 1,920. So again, taxes do matter. Let's figure out a way to create more tax-free income from you. It may be time to update your retirement income roadmap. You may be thinking about retirement. You may be been retired for years. You may have an advisor. Most of you have a stockbroker and a 20-year friendship. I'll be frank with you. It's now time to get a fresh new concept to do what we call the risk analysis. When you call in, you're going to get a risk analysis, your risk number. You're also going to get an analysis of the Roth conversion. We'll do the actuary tables and the math to fix the tax problem, identify the tax problem, and then the third option is to create 30% more tax-free income for you. So the fourth bucket is how we and what we do to create another $200,000 or $300,000, some of you as much as $400,000 extra money to spend tax-free in your lifetime. If you don't spend that money will go to your family on a tax-free basis. So again, actuaries, you're not going to want to go do it yourself and spend a couple $1,000s to do the paperwork and do the actuary work. We have the actuaries to do that for you. Now, how will you address the Secure Act? The answer is now. Do you believe taxes will go up or you think they'll go down? The point is they're all going to go up. Now, no matter who you're working with, we're going to give you a second opinion as far as what we call an income roadmap. We're going to give you the financial analysis, which is the risk report, and we'll do the Social Security analysis, how to get more of your Social Security in your pocket. We're going to offer you in the next 7 minutes. On here will be a calendar. If you click the button, the time and date, the offer, and if you keep the offer, we'll be able to save you 50% of the current fees you're paying, or 50% of the fees that you might have paid with somebody. We're going to save you 50% in the next year on your investments. We're going to do the actuary work. So that'll be a 5-page report on the actuary work on what the tax solving solutions are. We'll do the income roadmap to show you the math on how long your money will last. But again, the people that call that keep the offer, when I say keep the offer, it's going to be a $1,200 value or more. Some of you paying more in fees than that. So if you call in 2 weeks, you're not going to get the same offer. So again, the offer today is to save you 50% on your fees in the next year, which is going to be somewhere in the range of $1,200 in savings. For some of you, it's much more than that. The only way to do this is to call in, get on the calendar. On your screen, you'll see the calendar, click a time and date, or call 225-292-4225. Again, I'm Brian at Brian Love Financial. Listen to me on the radio every Saturday, WJBO 99.5 FM in New Orleans, Saturdays at 8 and Sundays at 9. Or WJBO Baton Rouge, 11:50 a.m., 1 o'clock on Saturdays. Looking forward to hearing from you. Again, in closing, it's the actuary work, it's the retirement roadmap, it's the risk analysis, and the question is, what are some other alternatives to consider right now to lower your tax and increase your income? Signing off here, Brian at Brian Love Financial. Have a great day.